Steel and Flame, Book 1 of the Guilds of Avlaan series is available on Amazon. If you like fluffy wolf lolly protagonists and Japanese light novels, follow the link below to check it out.
Hello, Leonardo Cornejo here, and today I want to talk about something I didn't expect to talk about. I had plans for another Daigo video for this week, but instead I decided to make this video because several bad things happened and it connects with my previous video about AI art. First of all, there is this platform called Cbit AI. It's garbage. It's garbage. That's what I'm starting with. A very respected user within the AI community got unjustly banned. There are threads on Twitter about it. This user, known as Lennon, got unjustly banned because of some made-up reasons. Basically, the moderators basically began to look for excuses to ban him because they didn't like one of his works, and they used this alleged rule against Lolly to ban him because of some works he made drawing inspiration from the wholesome RNG meme. You know which one. The thing is, they were basically just looking for a reason to ban him and used Lolly as an excuse, and they were like, oh, it's equal to child pornography, you know, all the stupid shit that we have been talking about in this channel. But from there I basically began to take a look at what this company was up to, and sincerely I don't like them. Sincerely, I think they are horrible. Their claims of moral superiority are superficial. They are false. They are like, oh, LOL is bad because of morality and ethical reasons, and they are praising AI models used to make hoaxes with these false historical photos, and they are hosting really nasty people, and of course it's full of models, of AI models which are made to make lolly characters. They say it's forbidden, but it's full of AI generated pictures of Anya Forger. The place is full of hypocrites, basically. The moderation team are a bunch of hypocrites who only use the rules to ban people they don't like. They are garbage, as I said. Cbit AI is garbage. And we will go back to that later, but what I really want to talk about is the importance of having a code of honor among people who use AI to generate images. Because currently there are many problems which could be easily solved if you develop a code of honor. If you start policing your own, if you start exerting pressure to stop some really bad habits which existed before AI generated images. First of all, there is the interaction with artists. I think it could improve if both sides resort to civility. I don't think those who basically act without any sort of, how do I say it, without any sort of diplomacy or decorum, saying, oh, if you use AI in any shape or form, you're a bad person, they can go fuck themselves. They are wrong. And all these people who are complaining about losing their jobs, they are mistaken. But I think, for example, if an artist says, I don't want my work to be used for training AI, I think that's the right. I think they shouldn't be claiming it's art theft if someone basically trains a model to imitate their style, especially if the model is not trained by using their art as a reference. It's entirely possible. It's not easy, but it's entirely possible to get the results by basically using input without training with the images from an artist as reference. But the thing is, if they say I don't want you to use my art as reference, you should respect that. If they say I don't like when they do that, you should respect that, because it's their work, because they do have a saying in it. And there are people, for example, which leave a sign saying please don't repost my work or things like that. I think that should be respected. If an artist doesn't want you to repost the work on your profile, that's fine. And if an artist says I don't want my art to be used to train AI, I think it's entirely valid to say you don't want that. I think it's entirely valid to say you would rather not have your work get used that way. And it's those who use AI to generate images, we should respect that, especially those who train them. If you say I don't want you to use my work for this, we should respect that. It's just civility. Of course, if they don't say anything, then it's not a problem. And if they openly approve it, that's fine. That's great, actually. It's good to know there are, and they are a rare occurrence, but there are people who don't mind that. I think actually some artists could actually profit from basically charging for the use of their art for training. And there could be some methods. For example, let's say hypothetically you charge these people to draw something for them which they will use to train the AI. You charge per image, and you charge basically per model they are training. So if they want to use the same image to train another model, well, they have to pay again. That could be a model, for example, for a business model for training, for selling your work to train AI. Yeah, of course, that's something only someone who is in favor of AI could think of, because, well, if they are entirely against, I don't think they will charge anything. They won't like to have anything to do with that. But it's entirely viable to charge people, to say, hey, you pay me this amount of money for my work, and you can use it. Basically, paying licensing fees, authorizing the other person to use the art to train a model. I think that will fix part of the problem, especially for those artists who are worried about not having customers. Well, you just start charging people to train. you start charging licensing. Could work in theory. It could work. The other part is the community is really bad sometimes, really toxic. There are people, as I said, who basically abuse their influence in the community to fuck other people over. That's what happened to Lennon. He did nothing wrong, but got abused by the system. By people who, I don't know, got a grudge against Lennon. God knows why. Because the reason apparently was a One Punch Man character. As I said, the whole issue regarding lolly characters, I think it should be entirely illegal to make photorealistic pornographic images with AI of any kind, not just lolly, of any kind. I think it's morally wrong to do that because you don't know exactly what the machine is using for reference. Because, well, if it looks like the real thing, I think it's wrong. I think that's bad. I think that's really horrible. I think that's really unacceptable. I don't like that. I think it's wrong. But that's my opinion. And regarding lolly type characters, yeah, that's totally unacceptable. That's basically making something that is indistinguishable. Using digital images to make something that is indistinguishable from a real life prepubescent human, it's a crime. That's a crime. That's illegal. That does count as child pornography. So I think realistic models shouldn't be used for that. I think realistic models shouldn't be used for that, but setting the realistic one aside, I think AI art platforms should stop censoring lolly. They should be more welcoming to it. They basically should have the same position as Pixiv used to before the whole ESG thing. As Barag seems to have still, that basically it's not real, so keep making it. I think that's the correct position, and no one should be abusing the rules to ban people unjustly. Then there is the other problem, the big one. I would say the big one because this one became relevant to many people not involved with AI, because all these problems I'm talking about right now, they are of people involved with AI. But this one is really big. There is this user who was or has been for a while impersonating an artist using AI generated images to claim he's the real artist and the other person is the impersonator. First of all, I must say art thieves, art impersonators, and imitators have existed even during the Renaissance. Imitators are not bad. I mention them because some people will say, well, what about imitation? No, not everyone who imitates the technique of someone, not everyone who uses an AI model to imitate the technique of, for example, Degassi is trying to impersonate Degassi. Yes, that's true. In fact, I think you should credit the artist you are imitating with AI. Just out of respect for the artist. I think if you are using an AI model which purposefully imitates another person's technique, you should, out of respect, state which artist the model is imitating. Just out of respect, just out of being nice. Say, hey, I'm imitating this person in particular. This user in particular, I'm imitating that person. And going from there, from admitting you are imitating someone, not feeling any shame or guilt about that, say, well, yeah, it's AI generated, I didn't make it, I'm imitating this artist because I think this artist is cool. I think the artists you imitate deserve respect. If you know who you are imitating, which with some models is very evident because they have the name of the artist. Now the problem with this artist is that this artist is an impersonator and an art thief. To be an art thief, you need to take credit from someone else's work. Basically, you have this person's work and you say, I made it. An impersonator says, and I am this person. Most of the time these people are easily proven wrong by the creator by just the creator just needs to make another piece and say, look, this person doesn't have my whole portfolio. This is my art, not his. This person is not me. That's an art thief or an impersonator. The problem with AI art, and that's exactly where this begins, the problem with AI generated images is that it makes it easier. It's not that it makes it happen. It makes it easier, and that's why we need to start policing these people. It makes it easier to impersonate other creators, because all you need is basically the model. You program the model using their images or otherwise, with other permission of course, and you pretend you are that person or that you created the art piece. You steal the credit, and when the artist says, well, where is the proof that you are creating that? Show if you are really the real deal. You could write, you could draw something else in that same style, and this person will release another piece in that same style. The case with this impersonator is that he got caught because of autochrony. She liked a picture this person made with AI, and then she got upset, retracted it, and said, please don't use the main art tag for AI. I think VTubers really need to reconsider their position. I know some of them really loathe AI art. I think they shouldn't be that averse to it, but I do think they should be able to filter it. My suggestion in this case would be basically having the main art tag and having an erotic art tag. For example, Ame and Dina have it, and you totally should, because you don't want to find in the main one the erotic part. So you basically make these two separate tags and one for AI. And that way, if you for example want to see only the main art, you go for that tag. If you want to see the erotic art, which not everyone will want to, you go for that one. And in the rare case that you want to go see what they are making with AI, you go for the AI tag. And that saves all the conflict, because people will inevitably make AI generated images of their favorite characters. That includes VTubers. That's inevitable. That's not something you can stop, but you can, and you should, filter it. You can separate the art made through human input from the art made with AI. The problem, as I said, with this person is that Crony basically asked him to not do that, to not use the main tag for AI generated images, and this guy got all defensive and started calling her an ungrateful bitch, and complaining with Cover Corp, and basically digging his own grave. And that's when someone remembered this asshole, I will say it that way. Because this asshole is imitating a very famous artist who has actually worked with Hololive, and the real artist has been complaining that this impersonator actually made a model without using art without authorization, which goes to part of the problem I was mentioning before. These people shouldn't be doing that. And the worst part is that, well, I saw the models. Yes, they are evidently using unauthorized art, and they are hosted in CBDI. That's the problem. CBDI is hosting this kind of people, this kind of malicious people. They will ban you over drawings that are harmless, that you are making for fun, but they won't ban art impersonators. They won't ban people with shady attitudes which make really questionable models, and that's wrong. That's unforgivable. That's unacceptable. I think it's this this basically got really big, and now everyone is like, yeah, we support the real artist, fuck the impersonator. Even people like me who favor AI art are like, no, fuck that guy, fuck that guy. There is a difference between using AI generated images and being an impersonator. There is basically a unanimous agreement that this guy is just plain wrong. That what he's doing is wrong and unforgivable. And I think we need to start policing that people. We shouldn't tolerate people using AI generated images to impersonate others. That's wrong. That's wrong. Impersonation is a crime. It's a crime for a reason, because it harms people, because it harms the real person, because it harms the real person's reputation, because it harms the real person's livelihood. It's just wrong. Impersonation is bad. We shouldn't tolerate this kind of behavior. This kind of behavior shouldn't be allowed, yeah, among AI communities. And Civit AI is basically tolerating this. They won't tolerate Loli, but they will tolerate more like they will target you over Loli if they don't like you, but they will tolerate art impersonators. They will tolerate these fake photograph models which are used to create hoaxes. There are ways, I think there are ways in which AI art is misused. It's a tool. It's not all bad, but I think there are ways to use it which are morally unacceptable. As I said, impersonation, art theft, creating hoaxes. For making memes, they are great, but I'm not talking about memes. In fact, I think AI-generated memes are the future of memes. Why? Because memes don't have a copyright. Because memes don't have quality control. Because memes are just repeated, and so people will start using AI to shape their ideas. Personally, I want to learn to draw. I actually have given it a few tries, but I will still use AI generated images, particularly of my own characters, particularly of my own works. I don't feel comfortable using AI to imitate someone's style on purpose, and I don't feel comfortable using AI to make drawings of other people's characters, because I don't know their opinion about it. But my opinion is, you can use my characters. I like them. I like to see art of them, even if it is generated with AI. And I don't think there is something wrong if you have these ideas, if you have your own creativity and you want to use a tool to shape it. I don't think that's wrong. I think when it comes to commercial purposes, the debate is far from over, and I don't really have an opinion about that. I don't feel comfortable with the idea of using AI for commercial purposes. I use it for reference, I use it for fun, I use it because I really like my characters, but for reference, for commercial purposes, I would rather hire an artist than make the cover with AI, personally. Unless I was basically blacklisted from all artists, which is impossible. I would rather have an artist make the cover than using AI, because I like the technique of really talented people, of really talented artists, because I do appreciate that, just as people still appreciate oil paintings. I think the way people are reacting to AI is counterproductive, it's exaggerated and irrational, but I think we really need to start policing our own community. We really need to start creating a code of honor and put a stop to these people who are making things worse. That's it for today. Have a good one. Oh, and I stand with Lennon. Seriously, fuck CBDI.